a witch hunt. So does that amount to political witch hunt, or what do you think about some of the systems that we've seen, even after Obasanjo, who, of course, will trace some of these cases, but basically let me hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, so the first thing I would like to say is that, you see, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, like all the other anti-graft commissions, are supposed to be saddled with a very clear responsibility. Economic and financial crimes happen daily. They happen daily, and not just in government offices, not just amongst politically exposed persons. These things happen on a daily basis. I mean, our corruption index and of course our corruption perception as a nation is very high, even amongst us who are Nigerians, not to talk about the international community. So these things happen daily. I can assure you that before someone like the former governor Aminu Tambuwal was invited by the EFCC, many people were invited by the EFCC privately, who are not politically exposed, who are not government officials, who are carrying out private businesses, private dealings, and all of that. But we never heard about any of them.
Okay.
So it means, therefore, that first of all, we must come to the place as a people where we understand and agree that these anti-graft agencies are not supposed to be linked to anything political in their dealings. That is supposed to be the ideal situation. However, having said that, there is no political season in our country where we do not hear of such, such allegations, and whoever is in the opposition, whoever is at the receiving end of the stick would say that they are being witch hunted, and all of that. The word witch hunt becomes most popular when an electoral period, is approaching. So whether this is the case or not is now what you have asked me. Now, before I comment on whether I believe that it's a witch hunt or it's not a witch hunt, these people who have been invited, do they have a case to answer? Do they have a case to answer? Are they able to, are the anti-graft agencies able to clear them of all wrongdoing? If you are being witch hunted and you have clean hands, you should not have a problem with the situation. It shouldn't be something you cry foul about. Answer the questions and leave, because you have nothing to worry about. The truth is, many times over, we have seen also, on the other hand, the anti-graft agencies now picking on certain people who happen to be involved in either speaking up against the government in power, forming a coalition that might be able to wrestle power from the government at the center, and all of that. And it becomes natural when people consider it a witch hunt, because they can see that the people who are now in the eye of the storm happen to be people who probably, are on the wrong side of the government. So these inferences can hardly be excluded because of the particular people. Like I said, the EFCC never went on break between the last election and now. They never went on break. They've always been at work. How come, we're now hearing of their activities again? It's because it's speaking on particular people who are either vocal against the government in power or have, picked a side going into the 2027 race. And once you pick a side, everybody can now infer what happens to you or what doesn't happen to you, what you get invited for, what you don't get invited for. Everything becomes an indication. So, of course, I believe that there is a possibility, a very strong possibility, that this is a witch hunt. But that would be an allegation against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, who has also come out to say that they have no hand in it.
is it even necessarily about the EFCC, or they being used as a tool, so to speak, in the hands of the politicians holding sway, so to
The
speak,
government.
government of the day? Let me put it that way, because that is what is being peddled around and all of that. At the height of the Buhari
Yes.
government, I remember this phrase that became quite notorious and popular, that kept that is,
Yes.
once you join APC, your sins are your sins are forgiven. And we can give examples of some
Yes.
politicians who,
Yes.
high profile, politicians that had high profile cases before the former senator of Benue,
David Mark.
David Mark. And
Mark.
yes, he has listed some possible politicians that may be invited by EFCC, saying that that's what they are talking about. So where's all of that coming from?
Well, so you see, the thing is, when politicking begins, politicians usually would not hold themselves back with playing all their cards. If you look at the strength of the coalition right now,
Yes.
and you look at the electoral potential, the elective potential, pardon me, the elective
Please,
potential
can
of the
we
big
quickly,
wigs who are
just quickly
taking
take,
over.
let's quickly take this commercial.
Okay, take a break.
Movement for change is here. Do you believe in justice and equality? Do you believe that women's rights are human rights? That boys and girls deserve to grow up free from limiting stereotypes? That violence against women and girls...
Hi everyone, my name is Swat. That's the name my father gave me, but you can always call me Her Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of The Sunny Side on 95.1 Nigeria Info. It takes place every weekday, noon to 3 p.m., where we get to have all the lovely contemporary conversations. If your days are normally long and gloomy, well, not anymore, because I'm here to make it all bright and sunny for you. So join me. It's an invitation. You don't want to miss out.
Then send a WhatsApp message to Center LSD on 0909 988 7987 or visit our social media page, Facebook.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Big wigs, the big names that have, joined the coalition or are showing interest in the coalition, and you look at the mathematics of the immediate past election, and you want to analyze using those numbers, you might say that the coalition mathematically should have the kind of elective potential to oust the government in power right now.
You think?
Now, if you are coming, I mean mathematically,
Okay, all right.
looking at it from the numbers. Yeah, I mean, because the incumbent won by like about 36.6%,
Yeah,
right?
36.6 or there.
In the last elections. By the time, so by the time you add the votes of someone like Atiku Abubakar
And
and
Peter
you
Obi.
add Peter Obi to the equation, you can see that, okay, so maybe if that coalition brings all of its arsenal together, that something may come out of that. That's what they are looking at, and that's what forms the coalition, right? But beyond that, when the numbers are put on one side and you are a politician and you want to see how you can take over or you can stay in power or hold on to power or hold on to the electoral potential, what would you throw? Many other things. And in Nigeria, right from the times of President Olusegun Obasanjo, there was always this common notion that the government always has something on you, except you have never been politically exposed. That the government always has something on you. Now, it's up to those who were offered that maybe the potential of a corrupt practice or something, and they didn't take it. But if you took it, then the government has something on you. The only problem I have with this is this. Why would the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and any other of these anti-graft agencies not take it upon themselves to find these things, to investigate and find for themselves these things, but wait until it is time for politics like this before they begin to act? And that's where I think the unrest comes from. Why wait until now? The former governor of Sokoto has been in the country since he came out of office. He has been on the radar, probably, but why now?
So what you're trying to say
That's the question.
is that time is of the essence in terms of interrogating and probably for EFCC to carry
Interrogating
issues and investigating and probably prosecuting anyone found wanting, right? But in all sense of honesty, for sure, when
Yes,
we
I
look at
believe
the
so.
government right now, from ministers to heads of parastatals and, all the top dogs in the polity and all of that, is there anyone, in all sense of honesty, that is free from any blemish of some sort?
I don't want to believe that there is no one. I don't want to believe that there is no one, because that would be a very wild, assumption. I wouldn't have the indices to base that assumption on. So, giving all Nigerians the benefit of doubt, there are certain people who are not corrupt on them. We will wait until they need their reputation for elections, until they need to put out the right kind of persona to be elected. Then we can now come against them. It is from the activities of the anti-graft agencies that we should build our perception of these people. So, for instance, in other crimes where things work well, if you've ever been named in a financial crime case before, your chances of being elected is eroded by over 50%. Not that you were found guilty, you were just mentioned.
Wow.
So, but here in Nigeria, you hear amongst people who are into contracting, into government stuff and all of that. I've heard of people who even lobby. They lobby to be in EFCC custody. Why?
Why would
Because
anybody
there
do
you
that?
Probably can meet. Because there you can probably meet certain people that give you more opportunity. There you can forge new relationships. There you can have conversations that give you opportunity to get into the block of those who control things. Because we have incentivized corruption to a very great extent in the country.
Wow.
And so people are not afraid. People are not afraid. Normally, if you hear of the anti-graft agencies, something should affect your reputation because you were mentioned.
But it doesn't seem to.
Who printed? It doesn't seem to. We had a former governor who printed a shirt and said, EFCC, I have come before.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, of course.
It has become, it's almost like a status symbol that if you are not invited, then you are not amongst the number that